is a sports catastrophe special presentation. Hey there, ho there, Jeff Cutter Dog. Welcome you to week 5 review of the Poker Players KW Club in season 3. So we're getting right down to nitty gritty. 10 players in each of the 2 poker houses. The top 5 move on to the final table, and then the other 10 will have to play in a wild card matchup to try to sneak their way into the final. I don't know how many spots there are. Nobody tells me how many spots there are for the wild card game, but anyway, we'll talk about stuff, and we're ready to go soon. Alright, so we start with the Rounders table, because they were the first ones to play week 5, and that was April the 6th. So 2 weeks ago, they were battling tooth and nail. There was one no-show, and that was McBride, a.k.a. McBitter, who, for the third time in 4 weeks, did not show up, which is like, what the heck, man? I don't know what the issue is, but anyway, it was down to 9 people. The first person eliminated was IM2D, and I am mostly not having a good round. However, for Todd, I mean, the guy won the previous week, so he won 2 of the first 4 weeks and did decently in the other 2 weeks. But his 4 points will get off the board because that was his lowest. He's happy. And then J Palm had a 5-point performance for 8th place. Not really the best of him. The first 2 weeks he was unstoppable, but he just only put up 9 points in 3 weeks. So a little bit off-putting, don't you think? But he might bounce back in week 5. Who knows? And then next in 7th place, with 6 points is Craftworks. A good 2nd place finish for him in week 4, but he failed miserably to replicate it. That was his second 7th place finish. So he technically loses, he loses one of them, one of his 6-point performances, because let's face it, it happens. In the meantime, No Show Sales showed up and took 6th with 8 points. He hasn't really been picking up the pace lately. The best he's done is 4th place through the first 5 weeks, so he needs to pick up some efforts and all that. And then next with 10 points for 5th place was Clicker, who unfortunately that was his best finish of the year. I mean, he's had 2 5ths, 2 6s, and a 7th. So at least he's consistent. But not the most consistent person in either poker house. In 4th place with 12 points was Newfoundland, Mr. Dwayne, who's picked up well. After a terrible 7th place in week 1, he's been consistent. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That's good. And then in 3rd place, and this time 16 points, was Baden Poker. Baden having a terrible first few weeks. He won week 3. He only took 5th in week 4. And now he jumped up to 3rd place this time with 16 points. And then it was down to Wings and Jimmer. Obviously, by the picture, you can see who won, and it was Wings. Jimmer did pretty well. I mean, his best finish was a 4th place finish in the first 4 weeks. And then he perked up and got 20 points for 2nd. And then the winner, Wings Rule. Excellent. Did not really have a good week 3 and 4. Only scored 6 combined points. But I mean, a 3rd and a 5th as well. But he did the put up and shut up method and put up 24 points to win the week. So the point standings as they are, according to pokerplayers.ca, is IM2D still in the lead in rounders with 76 points, including 10 knockouts. Of course, I got to remind everyone that your best 4 results out of 6 count towards your point total and the knockouts. Even if you get a knockout in an event that you drop points, you still win. those points. So he got 76 points for Todd with 10 knockouts. Second place with 68 points is Newfoundland. That includes 4 knockouts. Third place, there's a tie for third with Jay Palm and Wings Rule. Jay Palm technically has third because he has more knockouts at 61. Well, with 8, and Wings Rule with 5. And in fifth place, holding on the bubble and making it to the final table if events start today, is Baden Poker with 58 points. That includes 4 knockouts. Jimmer is only 4 points behind. Craftworks is 7 points back. No Show Sales, Clicker, and McBitter are going to really be fighting it out. They're not out by per se, but the chances of them making it are kind of slim. But we've seen massive comebacks in week 6, so someone's got to do it. All right, so one house down, and now it's the Gambler's House, the House of Pain. The wild cards, the House of Death, the Group of Death, if you will. So everyone except for Hawkins competed. Once again, he doesn't want to compete. I don't know why. He's probably laying low. That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, so we had 9 people. The first eliminated was Hockey Dad, who almost always starts off fast and furious, but then falters near the end. Unfortunately for him, his 4 points was his third best output of the 5 weeks. He's had a 4th and a 5th, but other than that, he's been nothing. 7 points in 3 other games. Well, his no-show in week 3 gets wiped out, but, that's not good. At least he gets the knockouts. Next up, in 8th place, was Bribry Breiberg, who had a good decent start. Second week, he was second, and then third week, he was the winner. But then after that, he has been faltering. A pair of 8 places, including one in which he was out on the second hand of the game. So he's been sliding a bit. The good news for him is that, he's been picking up knockouts and all that when he wins. Next up in 7th place is I Hate Humans, who have been up and down a bit. I mean, a 3rd place finish in week 4, but then not really that much. 10, 5, 6, 6 the rest of the way. So he needs to put up or shut up, though, too. And unfortunately, guess who got 6th? The guy who's been one of the most consistent players, and that's me. I've been consistent. 4, 4, 6, 6, 6. So it's either a 4 or a 6 for me. I took 6th place 4 times last season. So basically, that is my number. Is 6th place and all that. Obviously, that's not going to get me close to the top 5. Anyhow, next up in 5th place was DCS, who has had a Jekyll and Hyde round. Took 2nd in week 1, the newcomer, and we were thinking, oh man, he's really making it. And then a terrible 9th place in week 2. I had a hand in weakening him. Thank you very much. And then a 5th, a no-show, and then a 5th. So it's kind of awkward and all that. So anyway, you knew what you had to do. And then in 4th place with 12 points was Krista, the only female in this competition. She's been consistent too. I mean, she hasn't been above 4th place, but she's been pretty good. The worst she's done is 8th. And out of 10 people. She hasn't had a 9th or a 10th, like a no-show or even 9th. So she's done consistently well. And then you got yourself the 3rd place competitor, 16 points, is Rhythms. Last year's champion has been consistent too. 3 3rd place finishes and a 2nd. And then a terrible week 4, which, those points will be taken off the board. And then it was down to Master Keys and Some Summer. Obviously, by the picture, you can see who won. But Master Keys has been very consistent. First, 3rd, 2nd. And the weird thing is, his 16 points in week 3 is the number that gets knocked off the board. Guy doesn't have to play. I mean, he's almost at 100 points. I would just walk away. Don't play. You don't have to play. You know that you're firmly in there. You're 20 points ahead of second place. I say just leave it. You're definitely there. Or will he play, or will he dive? Who knows? But anyway, some summary for the second straight week after having a terrible first 3 weeks with combined 15 points on the board. I mean, the guy was swapped. It was McBride. No, yeah, McBride for Summer. It was kind of a trade, and Summer did not put up the numbers. And basically, we thought, well, he'll falter in the group of death. Well, someone was wrong, and that was me. So back-to-back first place finishes at 24 points has put him firmly in a good hole to get into the finals. So anyway, the point totals are as follows. Master Keys has 97 points, including 9 knockouts for first. Rhythms is second with 74 points with 6 knockouts. Summer is third with 69 points with 10 knockouts. And in fourth place with 66 points is Breiberg with 9 knockouts. And then there's a giant gap. For fifth place, it's 18 points back of Breiberg, and that's Theseus. So Theseus is on the bubble, meaning he could qualify for the final table. 48 points with 4 knockouts. Krista is sixth with 43 points, including 1 knockout. IA Humans has 42 points with 4 knockouts, and I have 40 points with no knockouts, as per usual. And Hockey Dad has 31 points with 2 knockouts. So it could be down to those guys. Hawkins is basically not going to make it out of last place, no matter even if he gets 24 points. He would need some chokery by Hockey Dad to get out of last place. But, you know, that's just here and there and everywhere. So anyway, it's going to be a hard battle, and I think we're going to see a couple of comeback stories. Will I be the comeback story? Odds are like 85 to 1 or something like that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.